Alright, and we're live. Just a short stream for today. I'm just going to go over what I did yesterday in getting these audio player to work in the website for candlestandmusic.com, and then going to go over Git LFS, large file storage, and get the download links working here, and then play around with some of the meta tags. So that's the plan. So yesterday did just a short half an hour stream on the SPA feature, single page application features in Astro. And so even though Astro, let's go to astro.build actually and see what Astro says about themselves. They're kind of more of a server-side rendering and server-side generating framework. However, with view transitions, you end up having the ability to make some pretty cool single page applications as well. So anyway, long story short, we can let's go to the home page here. So by default, this is set to the first song of the newest album, Merciful and Mighty. I'm actually going to go to a different album here. I'm going to go to Restore here and click on Play here. Now let's start playing that song there. Let me actually put this down to speed 1 there. So I can click pause on either
Lord, restore
there, and it works. Can click on play on the next one. And then also what will happen is when that song finishes playing, it will continue playing the rest of the album and then continue from the start. So whatever album is currently playing at the time. So the other cool thing is while this is playing, you can navigate around the website. You can go around, can look at lyrics for
when you're the one to blame.
Pause it, and all that is maintaining its state while you're moving around the application. So if you know anything about like how this the web works here, what that means is that it's not actually refreshing the whole page, right? It's only loading the details that it needs to render the relevant parts of the page that changed. So and Astro's taking on care of all of that, just using the view transitions API. So I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's how we got that working. It took me quite a bit longer after that stream. I think I ended around like 10 last night on the stream, and then ended up working until about 12:30 or so. And the bit that I had to work on, and I'm not sure if I did this correctly because I'm pretty new to Svelte as well here, but this is the play songs Svelte, which is the little wrapper that I used to put these play buttons inside of here. So that's in Svelte, and it's using there's actually 2 Svelte stores. There's one for broadcasting what is the current song and album, and then one for whether it's playing. So what's going on here is this Svelte component gets passed as a prop which album and song it's for, and then when it gets clicked, if the current song is the song that this play button is for, then we're toggling just the whether it's playing. So in other words, if I'm clicking on this button, I'm basically just toggling play and pause, right? I don't have to reset the song information. And in fact, resetting the song information causes a problem because what ends up happening on the other end with the audio player is that when the song comes in, we end up playing it. So if we ended up sending over the play command, or rather resetting the is playing state. Actually, let me rephrase this. If the album is not changing, and we just want to toggle the playing state, but then we did actually send this, then the subscribe would send, and then it's not a huge deal, but it leads to this error in the browser where it says basically that the current play method was interrupted or something like that. So that's what happens when you do that. So I'm not sure if I'm doing this correctly, but I did move away from doing more of the work in this subscribe to using these. I don't think they're called derived values, reactive values, and that's worked pretty well, I think. So essentially, what's going on here is the current song gives us a tuple of album and track. So whenever that current song changes, album and track get updated. Whenever album and track get updated, then track index gets updated because album is a dependency of track, and so is of track, and so is track as well. And then source, of course, is or derived from album as well, and track index. So if track index or album change, then source gets recalculated. And then I don't know if there's a way to just. There probably was a way to do this subscribe thing directly in one of these reactive blocks as well. I'm not familiar with how to do that though. So actually, let me just do one thing real quick. Let's pin this on. Show this one on all test ups. There we go. Okay. So basically, all this is saying is I don't want this subscription to run on the first time that the page mounts, and on the first time the subscription runs. There's actually like 2 times I think where we get a value, and if we were trying to react to that, first of all, the player is not defined yet because it's not mounted, and then secondly, the value of the subscription is null because even when you subscribe to like an undefined or null value, it's still going to send you that value. So basically, we need to keep track of the subscription anyway, and so I said, well, since we have to keep track of the subscription so we can unsubscribe on the story, we'll just see if that's defined yet, and if it's already defined, then we can go ahead and do stuff. But if it's not defined, then we're not going to do anything. So same thing with the playing. If it's playing, then we just say play. Otherwise, we put pause on that. So now toggle play is playing as a local state thing, but now it's actually setting the value in the store. So that back over here, this play button can also be informed of whether or not it's playing or not. So that's how that works. Let's go over to the download button. Now I already kind of scaffolded this out, but I was having issues with getting the files into Git, and so that'll be Git LFS, which we'll cover in just a second. But let's put those files back in, or that link back in rather. Index.astro here. So I think I just have to uncomment out this line here, and then there's one other page. I think it's links. And then this guy, that download there. Okay, so let's do a file save all. Okay, the links didn't get its download. This one has its button, but it's not getting the icon correctly. I have had issues with the icons not showing up. And typically what happens if I just like restart the server, it seems to work. But let me see if there's something else going on with this links guy. This is going to be getting from the props. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube download. Not sure. Let's refresh this and see if the icon comes back into play. Hey, okay, we got our icon back. And we got those links working too. Okay, so I think if I click on this, should see a download start happening. Excellent. I'm going to cancel that. And then same thing with all these. Yep, very cool. Restore's working. Noah's Art. Hey, there we go. Cool. All of them are working. And then that link it component is the exact same as the one on here, so that shouldn't have any issues either. Cool. Okay. Easy enough on that one. So, we talked about getting those download links in. Let's talk about Git LFS. So, these zip files that you're downloading are in this public repository here. Problem is that they're big. They're big files. This one's 97 megabytes. This one's 500 megabytes. Is that really 500 megabytes? That's crazy. And then 85 megabytes. So I'm not sure why Noah's Ark in particular is that large. It's not the longest album or anything like that, but maybe it is some different encodings or something. Anyway, all of those are too large for Git essentially. So what you can use is something called Git LFS, and it's something you have to install locally, and then it's something that your Git hosting provider has to support as well. So GitHub is what I'm using, and they have Git LFS there. So what you end up doing is you say git track, I think it's called git LFS track, and then the extension or a pattern of files that you want to track. So I did this one, git LFS track star.zip, and what that ended up doing is creating this git attributes file with this star.zip, filter LFS, diff LFS, merge LFS text. So now what you can do there is you can add all the files and then commit and then push it, and then what happens is the files get uploaded to one server and they're stored there instead of in your Git repository, and your Git repository just kind of points to them instead. So let's do git add all and I was banging my head trying to get this working last Sunday, and the reason why it wasn't working was I was missing the star in front of the .zip. So I did try this a little bit ahead of time in front of the stream, so we didn't end up spending the whole time on the stream just trying to figure out what was going on. But yeah, I did get that working. So I do notice though that with large files, just the git add process takes a while as well, and then of course the push takes some time as well. So while that's going on, let's talk a little bit about meta tags. So I am not. Oh, okay. Let's see. We were able to add all those files. So let's see. We could do. I think we do git LFS ls dash files, and that will list the files that are being tracked. So we got those 3 zip files being tracked by git LFS. So let's do git commit message, and then we'll say add album zips and download links. Cool. And we'll push that. This will take some time, I presume. Okay, so back to meta tags. I'm not very good at these, admittedly, but there are ways to add these meta tags. Astro generator for content, and depending on like when you copy a link and then share it, you'll have different attributes that get pulled out of your meta tags that are in the preview or something like that. So it depends on like where you're sharing it and things like that. But in particular, I think Noah was mentioning this Astro description was kind of strange. So let's just change that one for now to listen to merciful and mighty. But there's other things you can do as well. And so one thing that you can do is like if you shared this on LinkedIn, I think it's called, what was it called? I think it's called Open Graph graph meta tags. Is that what it is? I looked into this at one point, and I did actually get Open Graph meta stuff working for Astro for my website. Yeah, it is Open Graph meta tags. So let's say I think there's probably an Astro plugin for this. So before we go down, just add it. Start a post here. Oops. Start a post. Let's see how this push is going. 0%. Uploading LFS objects. 0 out of 3. Okay. Yeah, my network is getting bogged down here. Oops. Go back home here. And start a post. And let's say we put that link and see what kind of preview that this generates. Okay, so that was the Astro description there that we just modified. Let's try and get the Merciful and Mighty album image to show up if we were to add this meta tag here. So I'm pretty sure Astro will have like some sort of open graph stuff. Let's go to documentation and search that. Open graph. Nope. Okay. Astro open graph. Oh, Astro SEO. I think this is what I used before. In any of your Astro pages, import Astro SEO and then use it inside the head section of your HTML. Okay. Twitter extend meta Twitter. We may not even need to do this, to be honest. I just want to make it so that there's an image that shows up. Okay, so let's make sure there's a title. So put a title in there. Then we'll I want to make sure that there's an image that shows up. URL of the content. Use the canonical URL. Okay. We'll do HTTPS candle sandmusic.com. Okay. The URL of an image for the social snippet. Okay, so this is what we want. Oh, come on. I suppose what I can do is I can grab that from that should be fine there. I should be able to import Merciful and Mighty then I think we can just say content is equal to merciful and mighty dot source. Okay. Cool. Let's open up another tab here and check out. I don't know how to test locally the meta tags and the open graph stuff though. So unrun dev. We'll just see how this runs though and see what we get. So the other things I'm gonna be working on are on mobile view, or this there's plenty of room to add, you know, the album and the song title up here in the top here. But on mobile view, this gets kind of crunched underneath candlestand music there, and there's not quite enough room to show the whole thing. So I want to show like a marquee effect where it kind of keeps sliding to the left. A lot of music places, apps have it, like Spotify and such. So, all right. I suppose we could check out the HTML of the website and see what the meta tag looks like, in particular with that image there. OG title, listen to Merciful and Mighty, candlestand music, and then content. Now, I think, yeah, I'm not sure if this sourcing is going to work correctly for that contents link. So I may just have to kind of push this a couple times and then see how it gets rendered. Let's see how that push is going over there though. Oh, okay. Cool. Let's sync that, and then we'll add the rest of it, and then wait for the build from Netlify, which doesn't take you too long usually. So git add, and then git commit meta tags and open graph, and then is it still pushing there? Probably it's taking a while pushing it there. It's a problem with like switching between using the interface and the terminal, because I don't really know the measure of progress here in the interface, and there's issues where if you try and just if I do git push in the terminal, then it's gonna kind of go wacky. So we're gonna wait on that a little bit longer. Okay. Well, I'm going to do more experimentation with the open graph stuff, but we covered most of what I wanted to do in the stream. So I think I'll do some video at some point kind of covering what I've learned with this experience in Astro and Svelte as well. So stay tuned for that video, and see you next time.